You are listening to Skin, Earth, Vitality, the podcast where ancient wisdom meets modern vitality. If you're seeking to reconnect with your innate vibrancy, you're in the right place. I'm Emily Davis, a seasoned holistic esthetician and herbalist. Join me as we unlock the secrets of ancient skincare practices, explore the beauty of seasonal and nature-based living, herbalism, and true holistic well-being for you and the broader ecosystem. Welcome in. I just celebrated my 38th birthday this past week, the big 3-8, which means it's also been 20 years since I graduated high school, which is really crazy to me. And so I thought this was a wonderful opportunity to share some of my thoughts on aging and anti-aging culture. And I also want to share some strategies that I've cultivated to have a more positive mindset around aging. This is a big foundation of my company, this approach of age celebration, pro-aging. I like to say I'm anti-aging. And reason being is I just think that we have so much saturation in the beauty industry and in social media and all of the places on this focus on anti-aging. Like, it's so bad to age. And I just don't want to be a part of that. I think that aging is a gift. I'm so grateful for every sunset that I get to be here to see. And I do not take that lightly. So I am grateful to be aging. At the same time, I also think that when we are in alignment, whether physically or emotionally, with our lifestyle, we will see greater vibrancy and more healthy skin. And this will translate to a more beautiful complexion. And so I am all about aging with vitality, aging with vibrancy, being as healthy as I can possibly be so that I can have the best lifestyle, the best life quality that I can possibly have. And so we'll tie that in with these strategies that I want to share with you. This is going to be a short, sweet episode today as I'm heading off to Santa Fe. And so I didn't want to have like a really long, droning episode this week. But we'll start out by talking about anti-aging. The anti-aging market is valued at $63 billion, or was valued in 2022 at $63 billion. And by 2030, it's projected to reach $106 billion, be a $106 billion industry. So this is obviously a huge machine, and it's profiting off of women being made to feel wrong and insecure about something that we have no control over. Obviously, the passage of time is going to happen. You are going to age. And when we focus on fighting that, we're really just doing violence to ourselves. And as a part of the beauty industry myself, I choose to opt out of this machine, and I invite you to do the same. But how do we do that? How do we opt out of the mainstream culture around aging? So the first one is observing what you're exposing yourself to. If an account on social media or a show is making you think that people out there are walking around without texture on their skin because they've always got a filter on, I would disengage, or at the very least add in maybe some more unfiltered views of what people look like in your feed, and just observing and then noticing how you're feeling about things. It doesn't have to be like a huge deal, but following content that makes you feel amazing and good to be alive and good to be in your skin is important. Are you seeing an esthetician or a dermatologist or a hairstylist who's hyperfixating on you needing to fix yourself? I hear so many crazy stories from people about their practitioners and things that they've said. I used to work with a practitioner who would just constantly point out things that needed to be fixed on the skin, and it drove me crazy. This is very common because it's drilled into our heads when we are learning how to be in this industry. But just pay attention and go to people who make you feel good about yourself. The second one is massaging your face. This is huge. This will change the way your face looks. It will change the way you look at your skin and think about your skin. Face massage has so many benefits. It helps to hydrate the fascia or the connective tissue that's below the skin, which can translate to more elastic skin, better skin tone, more vibrant skin. It can help with increased blood flow, which will bring a color back into your skin. It will improve the texture and the tone of the skin. It helps with lymphatic drainage. Primarily, face massage will help indirectly with lymphatic drainage, but you can also do lymphatic drainage manipulation or use a tool like the lymph brush. And this will help to support, again, the texture and the tone. It will help to support less puffiness. It will help reduce breakout activity. It will also help with hydrating the skin more naturally. And I always think that it puts a sparkle in your eye after I do a manual lymphatic drainage facial. I'm always so excited about how good and what a transformation the skin makes from just these tiny, delicate movements. We get these specific type of wrinkles called dynamic wrinkles, and those are ones that we get from facial expression. And it's essentially just our muscle has been utilized quite a bit, and so it begins to shorten. And so facial massage can manipulate that muscle and restore its length. We can help to reduce muscle tension, which this is part of why face massage indirectly affects lymphatic drainage, but it can also reduce pain, especially in the jaw. And relaxing muscles can also help reduce the formation of lines and wrinkles. And then finally, face massage can stimulate a type of cell called fibroblasts. And these cells make collagen. So this will help to improve firmness and elasticity within the skin. So that was the first two. Number three is practicing bodily alignment. So, our postural alignment is crucial for aging vibrantly because it directly impacts the way our muscles and our fascia function. Poor posture can actually cause our muscles to tense and our fascia to pull in unbalanced ways, which can lead to drooping and sagging and wrinkling, especially in the face. Our face is not an island all by itself. It's connected to our whole body. And we have these fascia trains. So, for example, from our forehead, we have this train or this line of connective tissue that wraps up around our forehead, around our scalp, past the occipital ridge, down the neck, down the back, past your booty, down the back of your legs, all the way to the outsides of your feet. And all along this train, all the way down from your feet, up your legs, up your back, this all affects the skin on your forehead and vice versa. So it's kind of like a river. And as the river is flowing upstream, you're going to have a better flow downstream. So there are things that you can do to support the alignment and the fascia and the muscles throughout your whole body, which will allow more vibrancy and vitality in your face as you're aging. So this includes yoga, Pilates, bowspring, bar, swimming, working with a physical therapist, Tai Chi, even laying on one of those acupressure mats like a prana mat or a Shakti mat can help to support this. So, number 4 is taking note of your words and the way you're speaking about yourself, both inside your mind and outwardly to other people. I think that it's highly important with anything you're trying to change in your life or the way you're trying to think about things. We have to also work on our subconscious patterning. And one way that we can do this is by noticing the language that comes out of our mouth. And if you find that you are speaking negatively about yourself and the way you look when you talk to people or inside of your own head, my advice is first to just get curious. Learn how to be an observer of your thoughts. And then I'm a big fan of journaling. So I'm mostly a stream of consciousness writer when I'm journaling. You can also look up prompts online for um, subconscious patterning, but I would just start journaling, asking yourself, what do I think about how I look as I age? Why do I think this? Where did these beliefs come from? And not making yourself wrong, not having judgment, just getting curious. And then finally, I am so excited to talk about flower essences because this is a way that we can incorporate plants for emotional healing. I love incorporating flower essences. If you have never heard of flower essences before, they can be found like at the natural food store. They are called Bach flower essences. So if you've ever used, a really popular one is Rescue Remedy. I've always utilized that with my dogs. It's great for anxiety. So, flower essences are natural remedies that are made from the energetic imprint of flowers into water, and then it's preserved with alcohol. So, it's based off of the ancient knowing that morning dew, like the little drops of water that you might see on your grass in your front lawn, morning dew is sacred medicine. And in the 1930s, a British physician and homeopath started developing and recording our modern view of flower essences. His name was Edward Bach, and he believed that emotional and mental imbalances were the root cause of all physical illness. And he began by exploring the healing properties of flowers using their energetic imprints to create these remedies and address various emotional states. So they're medicine for your emotions, basically, and for your mental well being, helping to balance your emotions. And they're very subtle, but they are very powerful. And I know if you've never heard of this before, it might sound a little strange. But I am here to tell you they really work. You do have to be like the correct vibrational match for the flower. There is also a company called Alexis Smart. I think that's her name. Alexis, I'll put it in the show notes here, but Alexis Smart Flower Remedies, and she has a whole range, and I have several of them, and I use them when needed, and they are just so powerful. But a blend that I like to work with specifically for age acceptance and age celebration is going to first be crab apple flower essence. And again, you can find these at Sprouts or Vitamin Cottage. They're in the supplement section. They're little tiny yellow bottles. And the interesting thing with flower essences is that less is actually more powerful. So you just need like one drop of each of these in a cup of water or right under your tongue. So, first one is crab apple flower essence. This is about letting go of perfection and shame with the physical body and encourages embracing both your body and your mind. Honeysuckle flower essence helps to release emotional attachment to the past, allowing the life force to bloom as one is able to release the feeling that a previous time was more appealing than the here and the now. The next that I put in my blend is walnut flower essence. This helps with learning to adapt to change and life transitions. It's supportive in dispelling the illusions of the importance of living up to societal expectations during life transitions. And then finally, what I put in my little blend that I make for myself is willow flower essence. This is helpful for acceptance of a life situation, healing bitterness, resentment, along with releasing feelings of being victimized by circumstances of life. So again, I will put like a drop of each of these, so a total of 4 drops under my tongue 3 times a day. And I was very skeptical at first, but my opinion changed over time as I worked with them. And I've truly found so much profound healing. And what I find very interesting is how well the rescue remedy works for an anxious dog. Rescue remedy is just like their specific blend of flowers that's for shock or panic or anxiety. And I've always grabbed a bottle of that. My new dog, Teddy, he's not so scared of loud noises, but my girl, Daisy, who we lost a couple years ago, was terrified of fireworks and thunderstorms. And so I would always utilize that with her, and it would always calm her down. And with an animal, you just don't have that placebo effect because they don't know what they're taking. So I find it very interesting. I hope that you might be inspired. And let's wrap up what we talked about today. So, number 1 was observing what you're exposing yourself to. Number 2 was incorporating a facial massage practice at home. Number 3 was practicing bodily alignment. Number 4 was taking note of your words and your language. And then number 5 is incorporating flower essences. I hope that this was helpful. I hope it was inspiring, and I can't wait to see you again next time. Until then, be well. You've been listening to Skin, Earth, Vitality. If you like what you heard today, consider giving me a 5-star rating. It helps other people just like you to find the show. You can shop products and find all of my offerings on my website, stratumaesthetics.com, and follow along on my social channels at Stratum Aesthetics.